mighty God. You are a 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 mighty God. Say mighty. Say mighty. Say mighty. Say mighty. Say mighty, 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 mighty. He's awesome, 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 awesome. He is mighty, 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 mighty. Woo! Awesome, 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 awesome. Woo! You are a mighty God. 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 Say mighty. Say mighty. Say mighty. Say mighty. Say mighty, 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 mighty. Awesome, 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 awesome. Mighty, 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 mighty.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, the Free National Movement reveals its game-changing plan for the country if elected. Plus, a deadly showdown in a busy Western district leaves authorities on high alert. In sports, Carifta Trials Day 2, record-breaking performances, and big surprises. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition starts now. Happy Sunday. Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders, and welcome to the broadcast. As the election race intensifies, the campaign trail is heating up. Scores of Free National Movement supporters packed the Bahama Convention Center Saturday night, hearing directly from the party's 41 ratified candidates and leader Michael Pentard, who used the moment to make a sharp pitch for leadership, promising tough action on immigration, relief on the cost of living, and a crackdown on corruption. Take a listen. He says he's not the traditional candidate, and that's exactly what sets him apart.
So I come to you tonight auditioning for the CEO job in this country, and no, I'm not the traditional doctor. I'm not the traditional lawyer.
Speaking to a packed room of Free National Movement supporters, F&M leader Michael Pentard laid out a plan focused on transforming national security, healthcare, and the economy. He says it's grounded in the country's long-term development goals.
We believe parties should compete with each other to fulfill the national development plan that Bahamians from all walks of life said these are the priorities that are important to us.
A key focus, immigration. Pentard promising tighter borders, better surveillance, and a full overhaul of the system.
No one who comes into the Bahamas illegally can ever have a pathway of becoming a Bahamian citizen. We will be firm, but we will be humane.
He's also calling for more accountability, pushing for audits and cooperation and ongoing investigations.
What we intend to do is to make sure we do an audit of those national IDs to determine, first of all, are they authentic documents?
On the economy, the Free National Movement leader targeting everyday costs, proposing no VAT on essential goods and support for local production. Housing, another priority, with a plan to construct 5,000 homes.
We'll make sure that through tax breaks, through ensuring that you can come with no funds down, that you can own a piece of the rock. We want the process to be faster.
Pentard says his plan is clear. He's now asking Bahamians for the mandate to deliver. Well, just hours after that address from the Free Nation Movement leader at the party's campaign launch, the response was swift and sharply critical. In a statement, the Progressive Liberal Party pushed back hard, dismissing Pentard's message as political theater and urging Bahamians to focus on the FNM's record in office. The party pointed to what it calls key failures, including a significant value-added tax increase after campaigning against it, no increase to minimum wage, and what they say was a lack of progress on housing. The PLP also criticized the Minnis administration's handling of labor relations, its involvement in the Oban project, and ongoing issues with Bahamas Power and Light. The party further accused the FNM of prioritizing insiders while questioning the party's current messaging on affordability and opportunity. The Progressive Liberal Party says voters have not forgotten and should weigh past performance against present promises. Well, in news from the crime beat this evening, a man is dead following a police-involved shooting in the capital. Police say it happened just before 6 p.m. Saturday at a business along West Bay Street. Reports say a dispute between two men inside an establishment spilled outside, quickly turning tense. One of the men got into a vehicle and drove it toward the off-duty officer, fearing for his life. The officer fired a shot, fatally wounding the driver. Police press liaison officer, Chief Superintendent of Police, Sharia King.
An off-duty officer was at a local establishment off West Bay Street when an altercation occurred that continued on the outside of that establishment. One of the males in that altercation got into his vehicle. The officer felt that the vehicle was coming at him in a threatening manner. He then fired one shot, fatally wounding the driver of that vehicle.
Police also investigating a deadly shooting in Pinewood Gardens around 11 p.m. Saturday on Sugar Apple Street. A man and a Nissan Cube opened fire on a couple inside their car. The 48-year-old husband was shot in the chest and later died. A 26-year-old man who knew the victim was also shot in the leg and remains in serious condition. Police say the gunman fled the scene and the investigation is ongoing. Well, police in Bimini have busted 3 people in a major drug haul. Saturday night, officers searched a Baileytown home and found 21 pounds of marijuana worth about $21,000 and 2 grams of suspected cocaine. 3 occupants, a 21-year-old woman, a 28-year-old female, and a 39-year-old man were arrested at the scene. Investigations continue. Police investigating a violent crime spree in the capital on Saturday night. 2 women were forced into a vehicle at gunpoint on East Street. One escaped, but the other was held as a suspect stole cash and items and tried to extort electronic vouchers. The victim was later sexually assaulted in a secluded area on Wolf Road. Detectives tracked the vehicle to Ragged Island Street, where the suspect fled on foot. The woman was safely recovered. Police say the investigation is ongoing and asking anyone with information to call 911, 919, or the nearest police station. Well, coming up next, a program empowering female entrepreneurs to turn ideas into income. That and more when we come back. Welcome back. Across the islands, boat operators are sounding the alarm over rising fees while the government promises possible changes. Take a look.
We've had a 40% drop in charter bookings, which gets the boats out to the out islands and the other marinas. With the process and some of the fees in our marinas like in Bimini and West End and even in the Abacos, where you have shorter periods of stay.
That 40% drop, he says, is hitting the very lifeblood of the family islands, transient boaters who fuel local economies.
Normally, on some of the cases, a boat would get a multi-entry or they would get a 90-day where they could come over. They do 2 trips. They might go to Bimini, the smaller boats, rent a couple of Airbnbs, or hotel rooms, and that business has kind of gone.
Instead of multiple trips a year, many boaters are now making just one or skipping the Bahamas altogether. The Boating Association president adds that to stay afloat, mariners are cutting costs and offering discounts. He says that's not enough, especially for the out islands.
You know what it's like in the Family Islands. There's no cruise ships and big resorts. So those people, a lot of our smaller Family Islands, they depend on this type of transient business.
Murray says southern islands like Long Island, Kent Island, and Crooked Island are feeling the sharpest decline in occupancy. Still, he believes there's a path forward, including more flexible permits and long-promised digital systems.
Boats aren't taking as many trips, so I think with the 90-day, we might get, at a reasonable rate, we might get some of the boats coming back in more often and hopefully spending longer. And I think the other big thing is it's got to be, we've pushed for a digital, multi-entry digital cruising permit for quite a while, which they put in, but the only problem is it's not digital. So if we get to that point where the fees can be paid online, the entries can be done online pre-visit, and then I think that would help a lot as well.
On the other side, the government acknowledges the concerns but says changes will take time. Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says a formal review is underway, led by the Ministries of Finance and Transport, with input from the private sector. For now, the industry waits, hoping for relief before the downturn deepens. Well, the Fox Foundation, empowering female entrepreneurs through its Give to Gain initiative, aligned with this year's International Women's Day theme of abundant giving. The foundation recently awarded grants to 3 women business owners at Bahamas. Co-founder of the Fox Foundation, Adriana Fox, emphasized the importance of giving women the financial tools to help their businesses thrive.
There's going to be 3 persons that win, 30, 25, and 20. And besides the grant, we also have panelists. There's so many grants out there, and I know men has the confidence to understand business a little bit more. Like I learned from my mentors, Sabaz and Adrian Fox, like they are men, and I believe that sometimes a lot of females don't have that. And I had that opportunity to be an entrepreneur, be in the C-suite. So I wanted to bring that to the Bahamas females, because we have other grants, like I said, out there.
Now in its 3rd year, the initiative is expanding its focus to include both women executives and female entrepreneurs.
For the past 2 years, we've highlighted only entrepreneurs, and it was important for us to highlight that. So it was important for us to highlight this year's Women's International theme, Give to Gain, because women give so much. They are mothers, they are wives, they are C-suite executives, they are project managers, they are people in tech, they are innovators. And a lot of times we look at the after effect, but we don't look at what happens prior to them achieving and getting these titles.
Well, from a modest $5,000 grant to a multi-million-dollar success story, a Bahamian company is proving that hard work and vision can pave the way to wealth. 16 years later, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies is not only growing its footprint, but also creating jobs and inspiring young men to build businesses of their own. Here's Lloyd Allen.
Apart from its role in transforming roads across the country, the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies also taking an active role in transforming a number of young people through their mentorship program. This, they say, is a part of good business for the company.
This company gave me a second chance to life. I done been in jail twice.
24-year-old groundman Dean Smith says BSGC was a godsend as he began the slow journey of building a life and career after incarceration.
I gone for job numerous places. They look at my resume, they tell me come mark. Some people say, you won't fit for this job. This company teach me so much. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know nothing about no road work, nothing. But teach me how to do cat eyes, teach me how to line, teach me numbers, teach me plenty things, to be honest.
A similar story of purpose and optimism for Levant Wright from Crooked Island, who discovered a passion for road construction after joining the company 2 years ago.
My plans is hopefully one day I could do the same thing and start with my company as well too, because like I say, I learned different stuff I sit down and watch different stuff. Even if I'm not on the job, I learn about the different equipment and all of that. So it's a very good thing.
Young structural engineer Ramon Arana is cutting his professional teeth, so to speak, through a partnership with his employer, Braun Limited and BSGC.
I got on board to the project probably in middle of 2024. This particular site has been, very educational. We work alongside the Ministry of Works as well, making sure that if it's any, I wouldn't want to say lack of, but if there is anything that any party needs to be educated on slightly, we all work together as a team to make sure the plan gets done properly.
Company president Atario Mitchell says giving an opportunity is helpful, but for him, it's far more rewarding to help others build their own business, securing a bigger share of the Bahamian pie.
We don't hold people back. They can excel in the company itself, or they could, if they feel that they have to, they could go and start their own striping company. But the skill is something that they learn that nobody can take away from them.
For the Bahamas Tonight, Weekend Edition, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, an amazing story there, Lloyd. Thanks much. The 7th installment of the Long Island Mutton Festival closed on a high note Saturday night after much work behind the scenes to make it a success. Attendees shared their take on the festivities. Here's Cleopatra Murphy.
Night 2 of the 7th Annual Mutton Festival drew a crowd, but not to be left out, the goats and sheep also made their presence known. The event provided family-friendly fun with face painting for the children, as well as table games. The food and music, though, were the main draw, with performances from the likes of Puzzle, Funky D, and the High Tide Band. It was his second time at the festival for visitor Jay Laurie, and he loves the atmosphere, with resident Arthur Hannah Morris in full agreement.
Very rarely do you get everybody on the island together, and so we see lots of old friends, and there's just such good, positive feelings. Yeah, it's very fun for us.
Seems to be a great success. Seems like everybody enjoying themselves.
Both men reveled in the food and the fun.
I haven't had any mutton yet, but I had some Kong salad and some Kong fritters. The mutton will come next.
I had steamed mutton from Bernadina's stall. Yeah, only because she was out of the curried mutton, which was what I wanted. But you got to get there early, man.
The annual Mutton Festival gives repeat vendor Deborah Dixon an opportunity to showcase and sell she and her husband's crafts, from necklaces and other pieces popular with tourists and locals, in addition to intricately made accent pieces that include a seahorse and a crab crafted of seashells that are a labor of love.
I've attended every one of the festival. I've sold these artworks. Every year I try to bring new things to the market. So it'll be refresh, something new every time. Don't want to use the same thing every year. So my husband is the one who does all the shell artwork. I do the shell jewelry work and sea glass work.
Putting a successful event together takes time and thoughtful planning, as coordinator of the Long Island Tourist Office, Don Simmons, knows well. That effort is paying off, though, as locals and visitors alike look forward to the festival.
This is the time of year that they come down, especially the second homeowners, and it is a part of our busy season. So this is something that they really look forward to before going back home. And even from December, January, I get questions from tourists. Is it on? Is it still on for March? Even if they go back home, they still plan to come back for it.
With night 2 wrapping and a resounding success, she says attendees can expect bigger and better in 2027. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Sports is next.
It's an initiative that has sparked a movement. How could something so simple as feeding people become the catalyst to unifying business, civic, religious, and independent groups?
It's important that we teach our children to be community-minded. Our first tenet is to be a Christian leader.
Being a Christian leader is being able to give back to your fellow man and loving your neighbor as you would love yourself. Having this initiative and this opportunity to give back is extremely important.
Who would have thought that feeding a community on Thanksgiving would mushroom into feeding the nation through the iconic name, Let's Make a Difference?
I just hope that I could do as much work as all the striping has been doing over the years.
Our ambitious goal is always to feed 5,000 people, but just to be able to do a fraction of the 30,000 throughout the length and breadth of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, it feels really good.
To us, it's just important for us to, for one, be a helping hand on this Thanksgiving Day, and also being a good corporate citizen and being a part of our community.
It's the Let's Make a Difference initiative, beginning Monday, March 23rd at 9 a.m. right here on the Zaragoza Television Network.
Get ready to laugh. Tony Rock joins What's Trending for an exclusive chat about his comedy journey, latest projects, and his upcoming show at Bahamas. That's Monday, March 23rd at 6 p.m. Catch it live.
Welcome to your Sunday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Day 2 of the B3A's Crifter Trials getting underway on Saturday at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. A number of stellar performances on the track and the field as well. The boys under 17 javelin Ethan North will attain the Crifter qualifying standard, and so did Deontay Joseph in the boys high jump.
First, I want to give thanks to the Most High God, and He gave me strength and everything to do this jump, and I just really wanted to represent my country with the Bahamas on my chest, and I feel very proud to represent my country.
At the start of the competition, I wasn't where I expected to be. I expected to come out and do the same thing what I did last year and qualify on my first throw, but due to my circumstances with technique-wise, I wasn't focused, so I had to regain my focus and put it all in God's hand and let Him do His work.
And for B3A's president, Jermico Archer, things are certainly looking bright for the 242 heading into Grenada.
You'll find that we have a star-studded group of athletes who are going to be going to Grenada, who will really challenge some of the best athletes in the region. So I'm pleased about that. The 400 meters was the nail-biter as well. So we can expect the Bahamas to do very, very well. In fact, just today, we had Giovanni Bridgewater, who ran 46 seconds in the 400 meters. That's one of the leading times in the region. And so I think that we can stand on our feet and really start to cheer very loudly for Team Bahamas moving into Grenada.
In the pool, the Blue Wave Swim Club hosting the final swim meet before this year's Crifter Championships in Martinique, a dual-purpose event as it also marked a decade of excellence and impact on the local swimming community. Here's their head coach.
All right, as I said, it's our 10th year anniversary, and we're excited to be celebrating 10 years. I remember 10 years ago we barely had 10 swimmers, and some of them were just beginners. And we had somebody who came up through the ranks. Well, most of our swimmers, 90% of our team came up through the ranks to being champions. Christian Joseph, he's the fastest man in his age group right now, going into Crifter. His primary event 53. So we have him. When he started with us, he was just a bubbler. And look at him now, he's a big deal. And we have many girls, or 8 and 9 girls who came up who are now 11, 12, they're doing a big deal. We grew as a club because of our parent support, corporate support. You see the meet, you see who's supporting us. It's 10 years of giving back to the community, working hard as a team, building swimmers, building confidence, building personality. That we're just playing our part.
In college basketball news, you'll let Matthew McCoon and our Ole Miss Lady Rebels led the entire way against Gonzaga en route to a first-round victory. Final score 81-66. The Lady Rebs will now move into the round of 32 to take on Minnesota. Coach Yo on being one win away from another Sweet 16 trip.
Well, I'm definitely grateful to be a representative of one of the 32 teams that will be remaining after today. So we got our hands full with a very good Minnesota team.
looking forward to the opportunity to compete.
And that's Mixture Sports on this Sunday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
With our adoption by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We figured that we could use the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600, an all-male club that specializes and focuses on developing young men for leadership through communication.
This program has grown and has impacted our school in such a positive way that I don't think we'll ever have them leave us.
Too often, instead of us looking within, we look outside for someone to blame. Go take a look in the mirror. Instead of trying to identify what the problems are, let's try and figure out how we become a part of the solution.
We are teaching these children how to dream beyond their community.
Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
I put my foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness.
It's M-A-D-I-O Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas Tonight. Access now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it.
To fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn to ask for help.
That's the Bahamas Tonight. Access now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
In a time when leadership matters, when policies and priorities shape our communities, and when the Bahamas deserves clarity, not confusion, there's one place for real understanding. The Rundown, where Bahamian politics meets real life, where policies are examined and accountability is demanded, from Parliament to the people, from Nassau to the Family Islands. No noise, no spin, just facts, context, and honest conversation. Join me, Howard Grant, for The Rundown. Weekdays right here on ZNS Bahamas, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Starting Monday, February 2nd.
Time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. We have near clear skies, temperature at 76 degrees, a relative humidity pretty much on the dry side at 51%. Winds out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,019.1 millibars. That's 30.09 inches. And your temperatures around the islands this evening. Freeport, Grand Bahama 79. Also Greenville, Key 79. 77 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco 79 degrees in the Berry Islands. Allenstown, Bimini 73 degrees. In Fresh Creek, Central Andros 76. Kemp Space out Andros, Black Point, Exuma at 77. Otterstown, Cadalla 75 degrees. In Roxanne, Lutris 76. Now we pick up a 78 in Georgetown, Exuma. Rum Key, Anson, Salvador 75 degrees, 79 degrees. In Ragged Island, Clarence Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Miguana, Acklands. Also in Matitani, Nagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. They all have that homogeneous temperature of 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight through Monday. For the northwestern islands, we will continue with those light and variable winds with flat sea conditions. Now your high tide that will take place at 11:29 tonight with second high tide at 11:47 tomorrow morning. Now for the central islands, the winds become zonal. That is winds out of the east at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights around 2 to 4 feet. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flags are in place for you boaters. The reason being those winds are going to be out of the east at 12 to 18 knots. The wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. And as our light pitch pictures are showing that old frontal boundary that has brought to chilly temperatures well to the south of us, approaching the northern Leeward Islands, leaving behind an area of high pressure which is sliding towards the east, and that will result in a relaxation of our winds over the next several days. So that means some warm days and very chilly nights. And your forecast tonight. Going in for clear skies with a low temperature of 61 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at pleasant with lots of sunshine in the forecast. The high temperature is going to get up to 78 degrees tomorrow in your extended weather forecast. Beautiful weather will continue right through Thursday with lots of sunshine during the daytime. Nighttime temperatures very chilly for the first half of the week with those low 60s. And then we start to get a little climb into the mid to upper 60s as we head into the middle part of the week. And then there's another little frontal system which will find its way into our area, and that will take place sometime late Thursday night, early Friday morning, and that's when we'll see a couple of showers are popping up on Friday as a result of that frontal system. But thereafter, the skies will open up again with mostly sunny conditions behind that frontal passage. Desmond.
Thanks, Basil. That ends Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
After 66 steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
It's your boy Landlord, and welcome to Positive TV, the place where we play positive music. And on this TV show, we set the stage.